the first quantum augmented baby. Welcome back, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Quantum Humans series. In 2029, an announcement was made quietly but deliberately by a private research consortium based in Shenzhen. A child had been born using CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing, not to prevent disease, but to enhance perception. Specifically, the child's genome had been altered to increase the density and responsiveness of photoreceptor cells in the retina, a step toward what researchers called quantum-level visual acuity. For the first time, the term quantum augmented baby entered the public record. In this video, we unpack what that means, how it was done, and why this may be the tipping point in the evolution of the human species. Let's begin with what the modification targeted. In a normal human retina, there are 3 types of cone cells that respond to different wavelengths of light: blue, green, and red. Some birds and insects, however, have a 4th cone type, allowing them to see into the ultraviolet spectrum. They can perceive patterns and contrasts invisible to us. The team in Shenzhen introduced a 4th opsin gene, taken from the mantis shrimp and adapted to human biology, enabling the child to potentially perceive wavelengths beyond the standard visible range. But the enhancement didn't stop at cone density. The child's retinal circuitry was further modified to improve photon coherence detection, that is, the ability to register subtle changes in light polarization, phase, and intensity. This taps into what physicists refer to as quantum-level photonic information, minute properties of light that most biological systems ignore or cannot process. The theory is that this augmented visual system could detect not just more color, but more structure in light itself, possibly allowing perception of electromagnetic fields, energy differentials, or even patterns in biological emissions. This is not a comic book superpower. It's a serious attempt to expand human sensory processing using what we now know from quantum biology, a field that's shown certain animals, like robins, use quantum entanglement to navigate using Earth's magnetic field. The goal with this child was to replicate some of those capacities and bring them into the human domain. If successful, the implications are staggering. The procedure was not state-sponsored, nor was it done in secret. It operated in a legal gray zone, under the pretense of vision enhancement therapy, and was overseen by a panel of biotech investors, ethicists, and AI-augmented medical advisors. The embryo was edited at the single-cell stage, using a targeted CRISPR base editing protocol that minimized off-target mutations. Post-birth, the infant was placed into a private monitoring facility where sensory response, cognitive development, and visual processing were tested continually. Preliminary results, though limited due to the child's age, suggest enhanced contrast sensitivity, faster visual reaction time, and non-standard responses to light sources. In one case, the child was shown to react to polarized light patterns that standard human vision cannot detect. Whether this is a product of training, genetic changes, or both remains under investigation. But the real question isn't just about the eyes. It's about what this means for the human species. By editing perception itself, researchers aren't just preventing disease or boosting IQ, they're redefining the human interface with reality. If we can see more, we interpret more. If we interpret more, we act differently. This child may grow up to see patterns no one else can detect, to navigate environments others find overwhelming, or to interact with data layers embedded in the electromagnetic field. It's worth noting that this enhancement didn't occur in isolation. Alongside visual edits, the research group also implemented epigenetic controls, switches designed to dynamically adjust the expression of enhancement genes depending on context. This was done to reduce the risk of overloading the child's nervous system or causing sensory dysregulation. It also introduces a layer of programmability, suggesting that future enhancements could be toggled on or off in real time, perhaps by AI systems monitoring biological input. Naturally, the experiment ignited backlash. Global bioethics panels condemned the procedure as reckless, premature, and potentially exploitative. Some called it a designer baby by another name. Religious groups issued statements about playing God with evolution. And even within the scientific community, opinions were divided. Critics argue that we don't yet understand the full impact of altering sensory pathways. Over-enhancement could lead to psychological distress, overstimulation, or even neural instability. But others see it differently. Supporters argue that the line between therapy and enhancement is already blurred. If we can correct blindness in the womb, why not increase sight? If we can extend life, why not expand awareness? They argue that the true risk isn't enhancement, it's stagnation. In a world of accelerating environmental, technological, and cognitive complexity, evolving perception may not be a luxury, it may be a necessity. This brings us to the broader picture, Humanity 2.0. We are entering a phase where biology is no longer destiny. With CRISPR, synthetic biology, AI-assisted diagnostics, and neural interface tech, we can now design the next generation, not reactively, but proactively. The quantum augmented baby is just the beginning. In the pipeline are embryos edited for radiation resistance, augmented neurotransmitter regulation, and even tissue-based computation, where the body itself acts as a biological processing unit. China, the UAE, and several biotech nations are quietly investing in post-human development programs, state-supported initiatives to explore genetic and neural upgrades under the guise of national security and innovation. Behind closed doors, discussions are being had about whether enhanced children should have different educational tracks, security clearances, or even legal statuses. If one child sees the electromagnetic field and another doesn't, are they still operating in the same reality? There are legal ramifications as well. The current regulatory frameworks were not built for this. Existing international treaties on genetic editing do not account for enhancement. There's no legal precedent for what happens if a child is born with quantum sensory perception. Are their rights different? Is their data protected? Could their vision be exploited for military or surveillance purposes? Some futurists argue that this is the new arms race, not nuclear, not digital, but cognitive perceptual. The nation that can see more, literally, will move faster, decide better, and control more terrain, both physical and informational. If the child born in Shenzhen represents a successful case, there will be more. Private families, military labs, elite institutions, they will all want access to the edge. And while many are focused on the ethics of designer babies, they may be missing the larger issue. This isn't about aesthetics. It's about augmented perception as a survival advantage. Seeing danger before others do. Reading data hidden to the unaided eye. Reacting to signals that the rest of the population doesn't know exist. The question is no longer, should we do this? It's, what happens when we don't? Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.